Hi class, welcome to week 9. As you all know, this is our kind of Thanksgiving holiday week. So what I've done is, in lieu of class, we are having a video this week. This video here will concentrate on transactions. Well, we'll review transaction 24 quickly, and then we'll look at transactions 25 through 29 that are shown on pages 7-17 and 7-18 in your textbook. So to do this, I'm going to start off with transaction number 24. We actually completed this in class. What I'm going to do is just review it a little bit and have you check some answers. I'll start with the payroll register. First off here, in that transaction, we computed the pay for Virginia Russell on December 14th. She died, and so we had to issue her final paycheck to her estate. And so we completed this in class. I just thought I would show you in this video what we came up with here, and so that you could check your work. You'll see here we did not take income tax withholdings. We did still have to pay the other taxes on her check, but we took no tax withholdings because this is going to her estate. Anyway, so those are the figures there, and I have the checkpoint here filled in as well. This next checkpoint does not, you have not hit yet, so please go ahead and use this checkpoint after that December 14th payroll. After you completed the payroll, you are to go ahead and go over to the journal. That December 14th payroll, you need to have the transaction to transfer the net pay over to your payroll account. And then you needed to have your journal entry that recorded your payroll expense, your salaries expense. She was an office salary, so it goes there. And then this is the items withheld from the employee's check. And then the net pay ends up being your credit to your payroll cash. Then you also need to go ahead and record the payroll tax journal entry after that payroll from the 14th. These are the employer taxes on her behalf, which only ended up being the 2 components of FICA taxes. Okay, once you have journalized, make sure you also have posted those items to the general ledger. I'm going to go ahead and click over to this general ledger here, and I will slowly scroll through it. I've got the December 14th transactions in my ledger. If you want, you can review those. So I will slowly scroll through those. After you get your general ledger figures completed and looked through, make sure you fill in the post reference in your general ledger, and then also you put the account number in the post reference area on your journal page. All right, so these are our transactions for December 14th that needed to get posted. Again, I'm just slowly scrolling through these if you need to check any of your work on these. Next, we'll go over to the employee earnings records area. And for that one, it only affected one employee, which was Virginia Russell. And you need to go ahead and make sure you fill in her employee earnings record for Virginia Russell after that transaction. So you can check your work here. You can see that because that was her last check, that completes her employee earnings record. There are some check figures. What's nice is when you click on them, you'll see that yellow box tell you what that check figure is for. I went ahead and filled in those check figures. It's for the yearly total, and then the other checkpoint is for this quarter total over here. So that's actually over here the quarter totals are. And so those are filled in. This quarter total is the second row from the bottom. It's kind of hard to see the label there. Okay, so that is transaction 24 finished up. Transaction 25 we did get to, and we talked about transaction 25 on December 15th. It said we were going to electronically deposit the FICA taxes into the FICA taxes and federal income taxes, sorry about that, for the November payrolls, and then we're going to complete the federal deposit information worksheet. So we quickly went over this in class last time, but I will go ahead and fill this in, and we will briefly look at a couple of transactions after that. So December 15th we had, it's actually the FICA taxes payable, but I called it OASDI. Same account there, and HI taxes payable. And then you also had the FIT payable and credit to cash. Those are in the amounts of 3895.24, oops, 24, 911.02, and $1,845. The total of that would need to get taken out of our cash account. And to save time here, I'm going to go ahead and put in the post reference here, but we are going to go over to our general ledger in a minute here, and I will show you where we got those numbers. Where did that 3895 come from? Where it came from was, it said we were paying our November federal income taxes withheld, as well as our Social Security or our FICA taxes. To get that number, we would have gone over to the general ledger, and you would look at the FICA taxes payable OASDI, and then you would look to what we had at the end of November. So that's account number 20.1 that we have there, and it's $3,895.24 because I look, you know, it's going to be before December because we're paying November's taxes, which tax law requires we deposit them by the 15th of the next month, the taxes from the previous month. So we have our $3,895.24 there. Okay, and I will have you post that on your own, but I'm going to show you here. That's, you know, you're going to need to go ahead and post this for the 15th on your own. I'll do it for this one, but for the others, I will have you do that on your own. Okay, so that is how we would find the FICA taxes payable OASDI. For the HI, it is basically the same. We go to the next account, and the HI was 911.02. So let me debit there, 911.02. And we had journal page 46. Okay, and then we also paid the FIT taxes payable. These are the three taxes we usually pay together. Okay, and for this one, you look at the end of the month again, we had, looks like $1,845 that we paid. Yeah, so that is how we determine these items. Make sure that you are posting them to the ledgers, and make sure you're updating all of your post-reference numbers, etc. when we do these. Okay, so next item was transaction number 26 on December 15th, was to deposit the City of Philadelphia the amount of city income taxes withheld from November payrolls. Okay, so that's city income tax. So that's going to be CIT payable and cash. And specifically, it says it's for the amount withheld from November payrolls. I'm going to go ahead and fill that in here to save a little bit of time, but I will show you where we got that. Same idea, it's for the November payrolls. Make sure that once you do your journal entry here, again, that you post to the ledger. So that's on account number 11 and 26. As you'll see, I did not post yet to cash for our 15th, our other transaction as well. Make sure you do all of these postings to save a little bit of time on the videos. I haven't shown every single posting, so please make sure that you go ahead and do that. Okay, so for this one, we do need to go ahead and make sure that we post to our cash account. All right, so make sure you post to the cash account. Here we are. Those last two items that we had from cash, I didn't show those again, but those were from the 15th, which were 665126, and then this new one is our 121911. Okay. Let's go down to the other account, which was the CIT payable. We're going to keep going down. There's the FIT payable, SIT payable is state income taxes. In this case, this was city income taxes. Some cities do require a separate tax be paid. That seems to be kind of common in larger cities. And the amount here was the 1219, sorry, 0.11. And you'll see that was up here at the end of the month. Okay. So those are those two transactions. Let's go to the next one, which is transaction 27. Deposit with the state of Pennsylvania the amount of income taxes withheld from the December 4th payroll and complete the information worksheet. Okay, so important to note here, they want us to deposit the amount. It's on the 18th now. And we're depositing the amount for the SIT payable. So this is the state income tax that we withheld from folks. And this would look like this journal entry here. And then we have, it is going to be 482.76. And rather than post those for you, I'm just going to show them to you where I found the SIT payable. I believe it was right up here, 482.76. In this case, they wanted us to deposit it from the 4th. So we're depositing at a little bit different frequency here. Okay, let's go over to the next page, page 7-18. And transaction number 28. This one here says Globright has been notified by the insurance company that there will be no premium charge for the month of December on the policy for Virginia Russell. Okay, so they decided since, you know, she passed away, they weren't going to charge for insurance there. Prepare the entry for the check made payable to the estate of Virginia A. Russell for the amount that was withheld for insurance from her pay. All right, so this is an interesting, you know, unusual transaction, but it makes sense that we withheld that from her check, and if the insurance company is not going to charge her for that, we need to return that money to her estate. So to record this, we're going to go over to the journal. Here we are, and the date here is still on the 18th. And what we're going to have here is the group insurance premiums collected we're going to need to take it out of that account. So rather than sending that group insurance amount that we pulled from her check to the insurance company, we're going to instead basically be writing a check to her estate. Usually you send all of your group insurance premium together, but in this case, rather than send her portion to the company to pay for the insurance, we're going to send her portion to her estate, and thus we have to take that out of the group insurance premiums that we owe when we send that check. Okay, so that is that transaction. Again, make sure you remember to go ahead and post these in the general ledger area. The next transaction, number 29, we are going to prepare an employee's earnings record for Richard Lloyd Zimmerman, who was employed today as time clerk to take the place left vacant by the death of Virginia A. Russell last week. His beginning salary is $2,600 per month. It gives his address and all of his other information. We'll look at that in a minute. And it says no deduction for the insurance will be made until the last payday of the month. So all we need to do for this one is go over to the employee earnings record, and we are making a new employee earnings record for this person that was hired in Virginia Russell's place. So go ahead and scroll over here to this employee earnings record, and you will fill in all of this information in a brand new record. Let's go ahead and go to that record here. We got to make sure we have a blank one. Here's a blank one, and you can kind of just see it's pretty easy to fill this out. You're going to put in his name, and you're going to put in the first name, Richard Lloyd, all that information that you kind of need just to get him working towards his next payroll. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and let you fill this one in on your own so you get a little bit of practice on your own. But this is where you go for this one, and this is where you will fill in like his pay rates and all of the other like deductions and information that they give you here. If you have questions about how to fill it out, a good place to look is, you know, at maybe a previous employee. You can kind of see where they put some of the information here. All right, so that is transaction 29, is filling out that new record for our new employee that we will be using in our December 18th payroll transactions. So next, you will work on number 30, which is the December 18th payroll. We have gone through a couple of payrolls, the bigger one on the 4th and a short one on the 14th. And now for the 18th, you will need to complete the payroll register and the journal and the general ledger and the employee earnings records for this December 18th payroll. I've provided some check figures for this in a check figure document that's posted in week 8, and you can use that. I also have the checkpoints filled in over here for you, and those are some good guides. If you have questions, you know, and you get stuck on something, please email me and I will guide you through any struggles that you may have on this one. So have a great week and enjoy this project, and please, again, let me know if you have any questions.